Then we're just going to start sitting in the chair. Hands on the knees. So hands on the knees. Closing your eyes. Relaxing the shoulders. Relaxing the jaw and the forehead. And we're going to bring one hand to the belly, one hand to the chest. And we're sitting up tall and just gently pulling the belly in a little bit for support. But as we breathe, we're going to feel the belly expand, the chest expand, and then it come and fill all the way to the top of the throat. And then exhale, belly softens, chest softens, throat softens. We're just going to do a few breaths just like this. Belly, chest, throat. Exhale, belly, chest, throat. Good. Let's just do a few more rounds on our own. Take your time. Focusing as much as you can on making the breath as smooth as you can. Let's just do one more breath together. Expand the belly. Expand the chest. Come all the way into the throat. Exhale, soften the belly. Soften the chest. Soften the throat. Okay, bringing hands back down to the knees. So you can keep your eyes closed or open. We're going to just drop the right ear to the right shoulder. Good. And then we're going to keep the ear down and just drop the chin toward the shoulder. Now you can take your hand, your left hand, and reach it out to the left or bring it behind you. Either way, it kind of helps stretch into the neck a little bit. Or you can keep the hand right on your knee. Good. And then we're going to bring the hand to center. Lower the head to center. Just let it hang. Interlace the fingers and place the hands behind your head. We're not pulling on the head, just a nice little stretch. And just really let the shoulder blade slide down your back. Good. Release the hands, bring the head up to center. So left ear to left shoulder. Drop the chin. Maybe bring that hand out to the side or wrap it around. Breathe. And then we're going to bring the hand back around, lower the head down to center, and then just take your hands. We're going to take the fingers to the back of the neck now. Just a little massage. Maybe pressing into the bones around in the neck, just right around the bones, just a nice little rub down here. And just let the head really hang. Find a good spot you can press into it. Good. And then we're going to bring the hands back down, let the head hang for a moment. And then bringing the head up to center. Okay, so we're going to go into the hips now. Right here, this is a good one to practice. You can do it on your back, of course. You can do it seated on the floor, but it's also a good one to know how to do in a chair. So we're going to take your right ankle and place it on your left knee. And then we're going to press that right knee down toward the floor. And the back tends to want to round. So we're going to make the back nice and straight. Good, and hold. And if you feel comfortable, you could come forward onto your leg. But if you feel like you're going to fall out of your chair, you can just stay sitting straight up. Just tilting the hips forward will be enough. Good, and then we're going to switch. So we're going to bring that leg down. Do the other leg, left leg on top. Press the knee down toward the floor, sitting up nice and tall. So you can sit up tall or come on to the elbows. And the elbows kind of just help press that leg into position. And you can feel it a little more when you do that, or you can just press it with your hand, sitting up tall. Breathe. Good. And then coming up, we're going to set that foot down, shake them out. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, hands to heart center. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, hands to heart center. Okay, so we're going to use our chair to do a little bit of a lunge, well, a real lunge. So we're going to bring, you can turn whichever direction. We'll just do the other direction. We're going to turn, bring one leg over the seat of the chair, and then the other leg is going to be behind you. So we're going to let it hang off. And then we're going to turn that foot down and press the outside edge of the back foot into the mat. So this is sometimes a deeper lunge than we do without the chair. So you get to feel that stretch, and we're going to rotate the hip down. If you're having trouble rotating the hip, just step that foot out off the mat. It's totally fine. And then you get that stretch into your hip here. Good. And then we're going to reach the arms up overhead. Lift the chest, pull the arms a little behind the ears. Breathe. Nice. And then we're going to reach the elbows wide. Nice. And then lift them up. Good. Now let's reach them out wide again. Reach the elbows back. So we're opening into the chest. And then lift them up again. Nice. Interlace your fingers behind you. And we're going to press the knuckles down toward the floor. Nice. So if you can't straighten the elbows, that's okay. Just stay here and then hug the elbows toward one another, or straighten into the arms and lift the wrists away. And then we're going to do a little bit of a bow here. Lift the arms if you can. If not, they can be here hugging the elbows together. Breathe. Good. And then we're looking down. Maybe we're looking back at that back foot. Balance isn't so much of an issue, but it's good to practice different dristies. Good. And then we're going to release the bind. Coming up and back to center. Good job. Good. Oh, sorry, my PC is not plugged in. You got to plug that in so it doesn't die. Okay. All right, so the other side. So we're going to have that chair supporting the front leg. The back leg is straight out behind you. So we can have it straight here. You can bring it out to the side a little bit so you can rotate that hip down. Find a stretch you don't normally get from a standing pose, really. Nice. Breathe. So you're finding that position. Reach the arms up overhead. Good. Pulling the arms a little behind the ears. Elbows bend out to the sides. Reach up. Good. And then we're going to bend the elbows out to the sides, pull the elbows back. Lift the chest. You might not be able to slide your tailbone down, but you're trying. You'll feel the stretch in the legs even more when you're working on that. Just not letting it all dump into your low back. Good. And then press up. Bringing the hands behind you, interlace your fingers. Good. So if your elbows are not going to go straight, hug the elbows toward one another. Good. And then we can maybe straighten into the elbows, lift the wrists. Breathe and hold. Nice. Take a bow. Looking straight down. So you might still feel a little bit like balance is an issue. So looking straight down helps with that. Or you can take that gaze to your back foot. Breathe and hold. Good. Coming up. Release the arms. And back to center. Hands to the knees. Soften the shoulders. Good. We're going to reach the hands behind you and grab onto your chair. So you could grab on, if you got a back, grab onto the back. If you don't have a back, you're just going to grab onto the chair. And we're going to roll the shoulders back, lift the chest, and think about the back bend being through the shoulder blades as opposed to the low back. Good. Breathe. And release. I'm going to do that 2 more times. So if you want to, you could stand. So you could stand and then slide your tailbone down, hug the elbows together, and lift the chest. Or you can stay seated on your chair. Lift the chest, thinking about a string from the middle of the chest pulling up toward the ceiling, hugging the shoulder blades together. Lift. Good. And release. 1 more. Shoulder blades back. Maybe your hands are on your low back. Belly in. Lift. Lift the chest. Good. Press the feet down through the floor, whether you're standing or sitting. Good. And release. Good. And bring the hands together. So we're going to get a little strengthening into the arms. We're going to press the hands together. So you're pressing the whole palm down in each of the fingers. Press, 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 and release. Good. Let's do that again. Press, 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 and release. Good. 1 more time. Press, 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 and release. Good. Bringing the arms out straight and wide, reaching the fingertips as far away as you can. And then we're just going to make a few arm circles. 1 direction. Just keep going. Now, if you feel this a lot in your shoulders, work on relaxing the shoulders. Pull the shoulder blades down. Good. And then we're going to switch directions. Good. Keep the shoulders relaxed. So you sometimes have to really think about it, because the arms can hold themselves up. That's what you tell yourself. The arms can hold themselves up. The shoulders don't have to do all the work. They just need to hang out and be connected. Breathe. Good. Let's go the other direction. Good. I'm going to just do this direction and then 1 more time back. Don't give up. Don't give up. Let's go the opposite direction. Don't give up. Don't give up. Good. And release. Good work. Shake the shoulders out. Breathe. Okay, so we're going to do another. So this one is eagle pose. We're going to do a seated version. We're going to take that right leg, bring it up and over. So you're crossing the legs as much as you can. As much as you can. And squeeze. So we're going to get that squeeze in just like if we were standing. So we've got the left leg on top, which means we're going to bring the arms wide, bend into the elbows, bring the elbows together. So you can put the elbows together. This might be where you are. Or you take your left elbow under your right and you latch the hand around. So otherwise, you just keep the elbows together. And then we're going to relax the elbows down. Breathe. Keep the elbows together if you can. And then we're going to inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. Squeeze the legs. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. Good. Now we're going to inhale, lift, and then just go up and over the legs. Good. So let the back round. Think the shoulder blades sliding away from one another. Breathe. Good. Coming up and release. Let's straighten into the legs and the arms. Reach, shake them all out. Good. Now we're going to do the other side. So right leg comes on top. Cross it all the way over. Squeeze the legs, sitting up tall. Arms wide, bending into the elbows. Bring the elbows together. You can bring the elbows together, keep them together. So the elbows might come apart. That's okay. You're just working on trying to keep them together. Or you bring the right arm underneath the left. Elbows sink down. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. Good. Inhale, lift and hold. And then we're going to go up and over. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. Squeeze the legs. Squeeze the arms. Slide the shoulder blades away from one another. Good. And then coming up. Release. Release. Shake it out. Good. Good. So we're going to do one more sitting here, bending into the elbows. Good. So your fingertips are reaching up toward the ceiling. And then we're going to bring the hands down so they're level. And then down so they're hanging down. So you're like a scarecrow. And then back up and up. Good. Down. And all the way up. Good. Let's do 3 more. Down. And up. Good. 2 more. Down. And up. 1 more. And up. Good. So we're going to bring the hands down, shake it out one more time. So we're going to come onto the mat now. I'm going to bring this chair in front of you, like toward the bottom of the mat. And then we're going to come down onto the mat. This might be a little challenging, but that's okay. And we're just going to bring it so that your legs can be on there. That's going to happen in a minute. So you can have your legs there, but then let's just hug the knees into the chest. Give them a squeeze. Rock from side to side. Good. And then bring the legs over to the right. Just a little twist. Ooh. And then up to center. And then over to the left. And then up to center. One more squeeze. Maybe let the knees come wide. Grab onto the shins, the ankles, or the feet. And then we'll just rock from side to side here. Happy baby. You can straighten the legs a little bit if you want to. Or keep them bent. You're just thinking about one knee rocking toward the floor and then the other. And relaxing into the hips. Relaxing into the shoulders. So if if your chin is really pointing up, you might want a blanket or a pillow under your head. And then we're going to find center and stillness. Hug the knees in one last time. And then we're going to bring the legs onto your chair. So you're working toward the knees being over the hips, and you're able to relax into the inner thigh. And then think about making your shoulder blades flush with the floor. So if they feel like they're poking into the floor, just kind of tuck the heads of the shoulders down to flatten the shoulder blades. And then your hands can come to your belly. Or you could have one hand on your belly and one hand on your chest, just like we started. So we're sitting just like we started, but laying on our back, or arms come down by your sides. And then just focus on the breathing. Focusing on softening the inner thighs. Begin to bring your attention back into the moment. Gently start to bring the knees into the chest. We're going to roll onto one side of our body. Rest here. Come up to seated. And then just close our eyes for a few more breaths. Thank you so much for sharing your practice with me this Friday. Have a wonderful rest of your weekend. Namaste.